want to know too. Welcome, Neha. Request you to take a seat. Thank you, Mr. Enrico. May I please invite Mr. Anand up on stage to welcome our next panelist. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together once again for none other than Mahima Chaudhry. Thank you, Mr. Anand. May I please invite Mr. Chaudhry up on stage to welcome our next panelist. Mr. Chaudhry, are you here? Ladies and gentlemen, up next on our panel is one of India's and the country's experts on health and fitness, a renowned author of successful books. Very warm welcome, dear. Thank you for joining us here this evening. Thank you, Mr. Chaudhry, for doing the honors. May I please call upon Mr. Gopal on stage to kindly welcome our next panelist. Best-selling book, Fitness on the Go. It is time to welcome none other than Abhishek Sharma. Once again, a huge round of applause for all our 6 panelists here. Come on!
Equality and have a stress-free life. So without further ado, I would like to first welcome all our panelists here. Thank you so much for taking our time from your hectic schedules and being here with us and to talk about this cause and to start the show, to set the ball.
Hi everyone, it's just great to be here. It's probably the only place where you can, only event where it's legitimate to actually yawn, and that's what I was doing, because if you're yawning sitting over here, you can just go there and it's like the best thing ever. But I was hoping you didn't ask me that question first, because I don't want to set the bar too high or too low, but it's how it's going to come. I'm just going to be honest, and I'd be like a 4.
Alright, that's pretty good.
Or a 3.5 actually.
Alright.
Less.
And how do you cope up with stress?
By passing out. I sleep. I'm just like, if this is
so that's what we're discussing
too stressful, or
if
this is getting too hectic for me, the first thing I do is try and throw my phone far away. And then that stresses me out, and then I go and look for my phone. And then when I find my phone again, it stresses me out even more. So, and then I'm just like, you know what? I'm going to let everything go, and I'm just going to pass out. There was this amazing film that came out just now called Wonder Woman, and there's this scene, the first time she actually interacts with a guy, because she's from, you know, a completely different island and they haven't really seen men or civilization, and he keeps looking for his watch, and she's just like, she asks such an innocent and interesting question, which is so simple, and she's like, how can something so tiny actually rule your life, or how can you let that rule your life? And for me, I think the most stressful thing about, even if sleep helps me get rid of my stress, the most stressful thing in my life is to wake up to an alarm. Like, nothing stresses me out more than that. So, you know, like I said, we're just, at every level, we're slaves to something or a gadget or something else, except when we're actually passed out and sleeping, you know. That's the only relaxed or most amazing time that we can have.
All right. Mahima, what about you? What's your score on a scale of 1 to 10 on stress?
Today?
No, in life, generally.
Yeah, so for the last 4 years, it's been 10.
Okay, you're the perfect candidate for this.
Yeah. Just to give you an idea, I landed from Agra I got ready. I did my own hair. It's difficult, okay, the men, I want to tell you, to wash it and to blow dry it and to straighten it. And then I did my makeup in the car. And I was half ready. I was in my chappals. So if you go and see the car, it has bathroom chappals and everything. So I got ready and I have a flight to catch to America and I have not packed at 2 o'clock. So while I'm talking about how one should relax, I'm actually very stressed. So I'm 10. What de-stresses me is shopping. I was just telling her, you know, everything calls out to me. Like this mattress is telling me, buy me, buy me. I want to buy it for my mother because she doesn't keep very well. And I think it's wonderful. I just stay worried about her oxygen levels, her heart rate, her blood pressure. And right now I'm stressed out because I'm going to be away for a month. And this is absolutely wonderful. This is something I want to get for her. So knowing and being in control is so much better and less stressful. Okay. So Magni Flex is, thank you so much for getting this to India.
Great. What about you, Diane? What's your score?
I think I've reached a point.
And fall asleep instantly.
Well, there are days I don't push myself to sleep. Like, you know, I think I've tried and tested many different things. When I was a few years younger, then people were around me would always say, you know, we can't sleep. And I mean, I could literally nap anywhere and there would be no problem. Like I said, the only time I can't sleep is when I know I have an early flight or an early call time. And that's actually very unhealthy because when you have an early day of work, like if you have a 6 a.m. call time, you literally need to make sure you sleep really well so that you can actually be very, very productive, exactly like Doctor said, you know, that, and this thing that he was saying about, you know, your gravity and you're in a bad mood, I'm that person. So at least my team knows that till 12 in the afternoon, they shouldn't even hover around me. And even if they are, they should like tiptoe and then not talk to me, pretend like I don't exist. And that's when you come to terms with. But if you're coming back to your question, and I feel like I'm going away. So, you know, firstly, I think we worry too much about little things, and I've learned it the hard way because nothing is more important than your own health. And the first thing to start affecting your health is if you don't give your sleep enough importance. And I think Galen, if I'm taking her name right, she came on stage and then, you know, I usually don't pay too much attention when people talk on stage, but with her I really did because she's so interesting and she made so much sense about buying the car and buying, you know, the handbag which you're going to carry around your arm, and then you have to carry it in a particular way that you just need to go back and like bandage your arm, and it doesn't do any good to you. And what are you trying to prove out of it? And it's just amazing. Like for me, I think that if you're going to spend 1/3 of your life on that bed or that mattress and sleeping, I think it's probably the best investment.
Absolutely.
And I feel like it's just things like competition and, you know, it's also a new fad. Oh, what's happening? Oh man, I'm too stressed out. Like, you know, it's the thing. If you don't say that, you're just not cool enough or important enough. And, you know, it's just time. You just need to snap out of it.
Mahima, do you manage to pack in 8 hours of sleep? As per the experts' advice.
Before I used to, but now I have a little one that I send to school and her school begins really early, so I have to wake up at 6 with her. And normally I'm trying to watch Arnab Goswami on television. I can't sleep unless I'm charged up and I see someone else more agitated than me. So that sort of calms me down. I don't know, it's got a calming effect. But yeah, yeah, he has. Because I feel like there's one person who's more agitated than me and that just calms me and I just see that debate and I slowly reduce the volume.
Or no, I'm sure will not be too happy to hear that.
Yeah,
that he puts you asleep. Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why I was saying last 4 years I have been stressed because I don't get my 8 hours of sleep. And I need it. And I'm just so happy we're talking about rest for good health. Because everywhere I go, it's about running is good for health, yoga, breathing, it's always
We will talk about that
activity.
too.
And this is resting is good for health. First of all, that's really nice. So yeah, I haven't got, for 4 years, I've not been getting very good sleep, but I love sleeping. I love long flights. I love 18-hour flights, 16-hour flights. I just love it. So I'm looking forward to tonight when I'll be on this international flight for 8, 10, 12, 15 hours. I love it. So yeah, I'm so happy. The best sleep I get is when I enter a hotel room and I have that mattress, which is pretty much what you're bringing to India. And there's no sound.
Okay.
So that really gives me good sleep.
Okay. We'll move on now. So
I have a suggestion. I really want to move on,
Sure,
but
sure.
I have a suggestion for MagniFlex. You know those little mattresses you get on the flight when you're traveling? I spend 1/3 of, I think I spend 1/3 of my life on a plane.
On an airplane.
You know the thin mattresses? Please get some technology into that and get MagniFlex onto our mattresses when we're traveling. If you can come up
Travel
with it.
pillows or travel comfort or
Travel
something.
pillows, yeah, I mean that, all the
Some
mattresses.
innovation there.
When you wake up, you're like, I mean, we have to
You're
wear all
working on
those
it. You're working
DDT
on it.
suits and things like that. You might as well get one of these things.
Great. So moving on, I'd like to bring in some statistics here. Dr. Abhishek Indian, this is specifically for you three. 72% of Indians are waking up 1 to 3 times per night, and 87% of them say the lack of sleep is affecting their work. Sleep apnea and insomnia, common sleep disorders, and 84 other sleep disorders often go undiagnosed. So why do you think, you're 3 experts here on particularly these matters, why do you think there's such a gross lack of awareness when it comes to sleep disorders?
Let me tell you, 60% of the people in the city, Mumbai city, are suffering from some form of insomnia or this.
Yes.
People blame the mobile phone. Okay, people are getting too